Hi VC, it's Aaron, Methylamere, and today I'm entering a contest for my good friend Chris Propfe. And he's just doing a contest because he likes doing contests. It's really cool. So there's, I think, 5 questions. I got them in my head. I hope I remember them. And if you don't know Chris Propfe, he's one of the most amazing people in the VC. He's got one of the best voices, really good singer and guitarist, really nice guy, great sense of humor, just one of the best guys, one of my best friends in the VC. And I will get to more of that later. So the first thing, he wants us to show a record from 1974, which is his birth year. And so I'm going to show this one. And I bet you're thinking I'm going to show a Kiss record, but I won't. But I'm going to show this. This is Nilsson. It's called Pussycat, starring Harry Nilsson and produced by John Lennon. So this is a very unique record that Harry Nilsson did. Really love this. John Lennon, produced it. So he was in the studio making this with him the whole time. And it's got, like Ringo Starr plays drums on most of the songs, along with Jim Keltner. So a lot of songs they have 2 drummers. Keith Moon plays on a couple. So there's one song, it's got Keith Moon, Jim Keltner, and Ringo Starr all playing drums, like 2 or 3 of them like that, which is really cool. Klaus Vormann plays bass on most of it. It's an amazing record. They do a really killer version of Subterranean Homesick Blues, the Bob Dylan song, and it's more of a rocking version. It's really rocking, and I love it. It's my favorite version of that song. It's a really great record. It's just an amazing. Everything Harry Nilsson does, I love. It's just amazing. Save the Last Dance for me. Mucho Mungo is really cool. It's a version of Rock Around the Clock, a rocking version of that on here. So it's just an amazing record. And yeah. I just showed this because it's a little bit different, and this is from 1974. Pussycats. Great record. Next up, we're supposed to show a record from 1988, which is also a very important year to me because that's the year I graduated and I was really into the heavy metal stuff. And I'm going to show this record. This is Vinnie Vincent Invasion, All Systems Go. Great record, and this is the record that introduced the world to Mark Slaughter, the vocalist. He didn't appear on the first Vinnie Vincent record. It was Robert Fleischman on vocals, and Mark Slaughter took over on this one. It's an amazing record. Had a pretty big hit, actually, top 40 single that was for Nightmare on Elm Street 4 or 5. I can't remember which. It's called, where is it? I should just know the song. Love Kills, of course, Love Kills. And there's a really cool song called That Time of Year. Naughty Naughty's really good. This is a great record, heavy petting. This is not quite as frenetic as their first album. It's more band instead of just all the killer shredding, but there's still a lot of shredding on here. Vinnie Vincent's amazing on here. It's got the band here is Vinnie Vincent, Bobby Rock on the drums, who's played with a lot of different people. They got Mark Slaughter on the vocals and Dana Strum, who these 2 went on to form Slaughter after this record when they broke up. And it's just a great record, and I love it. I like the first one a touch better just because it's just so blazingly frenetic. This one here is a great record too. Amazing record. Love Vinnie Vincent Invasion. I really wish they would have put out more albums. And next we're supposed to show 3 records that are important to me. And I'm going to do this in a kind of a different way. These are records that are important to me concerning Chris. So this first record, what happened, I was watching, I hadn't done any videos. I was watching VC, some VC channels. I watched back then I was watching Channel 33 RPM, Mr. Hall of Fame, Scott Waters, Lazarus, Peaches from Vinyl. I can't remember his channel. I haven't watched him for a bit. I haven't seen a video from him in a while. He's really cool. And people like Ron Haggerty and Todd Guy the Thrashing Zombie, a few others that I was watching before I joined. And Chris Propfe was one of them. And I saw him show this record, the Hags, and this has always been one of my favorite records. I love this album. It's just an amazing hard rock masterpiece to me. I love it. Great record. And he showed this, and I was like, oh my God, they're showing Hags. I've never seen anyone show that record. And he's showing Hags. So that led me to figure out on my phone, I'm very technologically unadvanced. So I kind of figured out how to leave a comment on his channel. So I commented about Hags, then I started commenting with him back and forth for a month or 2 and then I ended up making videos, and my first video was a contest entry for him. So Hags are the record that got me into the VC, basically. And so I'll always remember this record for that, and it's one of my favorites. And so after that, I sent him a VCLT right. I mean, actually, I think maybe before or right after I got into the VC, and I sent him one of my very favorite records of all time, which I happen to have another copy of, and it's this, Sweet FA, Stick to Your Guns. One of my favorite albums ever. This is the most underrated album of all time. I love this. I've heard it thousands of times, I'm sure, because me and my friends used to play it over and over. It's great. Like, I call it blues metal. Hard rock people call it now, but there's some heavy stuff, there's some acoustic stuff, there's a ballad. It's all just the great record from 1990. Love this album, and this is the first thing I ever sent as a VCLT was a copy of this to Chris. And so Chris sent me back some VCLT, and this was one of the first ones he sent me. I think it was the first one, along with this one up here, the blue record there, but it was Slip It In from Black Flag. And I love this record. This record is my favorite Black Flag record now. Probably because it's the first one I heard. Well, I heard this and My War at the same time. But this is the one that really struck me right away. And so this got me into the whole Black Flag world, where I end up really liking them. Now I've got like 5 or 6 records of them. And 3 of them from Chris. Thank you, Chris. And this is such a great record. Henry Rollins on the vocals is so good on here. That title song, Slip It In. Black Coffee's great. You know, every song is good on here. You're Not Evil. Obliteration, great album. And if he wouldn't have sent this to me, I would still never really be into Black Flag. So that really, changed my musical course a bit. So thank you, Chris. And so for the 4th question, we're supposed to show our inner and outer sleeves that we use. And I don't really use any special inner sleeves except for the MoFi. I buy those occasionally, and I usually use those when I send people stuff more than myself. But if it has a really beat up inner sleeve, I'll use a MoFi sleeve. And the outer sleeves, for years, I've been using these 2 mil sleeves. And let me get a record here. I can just show you okay, I'll just show you on this one here. This is Vinnie Vincent. So, this is how these 2 mil sleeves are. These are the ones that they come like $20 for 100 of them. So they're very reasonable. And when you have a lot of records, like I have about 4,000 records, easy to get a lot of them. So this is what they look like in here. It's not bad, but they tend to fray up on the top, which I don't like, and then they split really easy. And then when you pull them in and out of your sleeves, they start to bunch up and get creases, which I don't like. So I've been starting to switch over to vinyl storage solutions, and I'm going with I have the 4 mil 12-inch sleeves. They don't have a flap. They just fit perfect, because I like to have easy access because I listen to my records a lot. So I don't like the flaps. They tend to get bent on the edges, or they catch with the other ones. I don't like that. And for me personally, I don't like to keep my records behind there, because I like to look at the back sleeve and see the songs, I'm kind of weird about that. I know everyone has their own little idiosyncrasies with the record collecting. That's one of my things, that I like to see the back. That's why I just have the single sleeve. And this is the difference in them here. Put this in, and they're much stronger, so they don't bend and get all that creasing. And then look how it looks. And then it doesn't have any, it just comes slightly over the top, so it doesn't get all that ruffled stuff there. So I really like these. And I have just purchased 500 from Vinyl Storage Solutions. What I do is I have my local store order them, then I buy them from him, because I don't like doing online stuff much. But I just love how they look, and they're very tough, strong. They won't, I won't have to replace these. It's like every third or fourth time I get a record out, I have to replace that sleeve because they get all weird. So I won't have to do that anymore with these 4 mil. They're really good. And just over the years, I'll switch my whole collection of them. I might get some sleeved ones or some with the pockets, but I just personally don't like that as much. So, and the last question here, if I can remember what it was. Oh yeah, I remember. How long have I been in the VC? And June 11th of last year was when I started. So I've been over a year and a month, just a year and a month, barely over that time. That's how long I've been doing videos. And, I was a commenter for about 2 or 3 months before that. And I just watched videos for like 2 or 3 years before that. So it was a gradual progression. And now I'm up to over a year, and hopefully I'll make it another year. We'll see what happens. And all right, everybody, have a great one. And thank you, Chris. Everyone sub Chris Propfe, Musically Obsessed. Great channel, great guy. He's easily got one of the best channels in the VC, so everyone sub him up. And all right, everyone have a great day. I will see you later.